You're going like this.
I know.
Hello and welcome to A Cup of Grace and Lori. I'm Grace.
And I'm Lori.
Today, Lori and I, we decided to try to have an organic chat based off of a general idea. When I was reading a comment in one of our previous episodes, I noticed that Lori had responded to a viewer. She had mentioned that she had not finished high school either, because I had not finished high school, and Lori chimed in to say that she hadn't finished high school either, and I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought, oh, it made me think, how we don't really know each other that well.
No,
Lori
no,
and I
not about
really
some things.
don't we really don't know each other that well. And yes, we met more than a decade ago. But throughout that time, since that time, we've gotten together occasionally.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, there are so many things that we don't know about each other. I mean,
Right.
just these little trivial things.
Yeah.
But to me, knowing that she hadn't gone to high school was interesting to
I
me,
mean, I went
obviously,
to high
because,
school. I did go
yeah,
to high school.
you didn't finish.
I finished grade
That would be
12.
even more
I
interesting.
finished grade 12, Grace. I did finish grade
You
12.
finished grade 12. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just didn't do grade 13.
So
Yeah.
another interesting comment that you had made was, yeah, like you wanted to work.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. You didn't graduate from high school.
Well, I mean, I got my grade 12,
Okay,
right?
but
Yeah.
during my memory doesn't serve well, just let me know, because when I went to high school, there was a
Yeah.
grade 13.
Oh, there
And
was. Yeah.
yeah, you got your diploma when you finished grade 13. So are
Uh,
you saying that you
okay.
received your diploma in grade 12?
You know what? You're right. I probably didn't receive the diploma, but I mean, I've later on it became grade 12 and I had completed grade 12.
I know, but you need a
But at the
certain
time,
amount
you're
of
right.
credit.
You're at the time, true. At the time, it was grade 13. You're right. So
Okay,
yeah,
so you didn't graduate from high school. You don't.
I guess I didn't. Yeah, I guess not. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
all right.
Okay.
But yeah, what I thought was interesting was, yeah, because you wanted to work. You were what, eager to work? Why?
Mm-hmm.
Why? Is that too
Uh,
personal to get into why?
no, no. I felt I couldn't relate to being people around my age. I started, I
Oh.
started back at grade 13 and I lasted about a week. I
Mm.
just found everyone was pretty, to me, they seemed immature and I wanted to be around older people. So I couldn't handle being around that crowd for a year.
Oh my
So that's what
goodness.
happened. Yeah.
And so
So
you thought that entering the workforce, you would be surrounding yourself with more mature people?
yeah, yeah. And I did. And I was. I ended up, you know, of course, because everybody was older, right?
Well, there are, it depends on where you're working. There are plenty of
Okay.
jobs geared towards younger people.
Oh, yeah, no, I started in an office and I actually, it's kind of odd because I was working as an admin for the president of the company, which was really weird for that to be my first job. I only lasted there for about 10 months, 11 months.
That's pretty
And
good.
they realized that I was too young for the job, right? Because
Oh,
it was
finally, after almost a year?
about 11 months, yeah. Uh, So, and I thought, well, you placed me in the position. I mean, it was an
Hmm.
insurance company downtown on Bay Street, and they had some heavyweights on the board of directors. So it wasn't like it was a medium-sized company, but it, as I said, in hindsight, I'm thinking, well, you hired an 18-year-old to be the admin for your president. So what did
Did
you
they know
expect?
your age? Because I mean, they're
Sure,
not supposed
sure.
to ask your age.
No, but you know what? I would have put that I had, finished grade 12 in whatever year. So, I mean, anybody can figure that out, right? I mean, it was just the year before that I finished high school. So, obviously, they were trying to save money Actually, you know what? To be honest, it was a mat leave. That's what happened. Sorry. I was filling in for a mat leave, and the person I was replacing, she wasn't sure if she was going to come back or not after having the baby. She did end up coming back. So that's what happened. Yeah, she came back, and then so I was just doing a mat leave. That's what happened there. But so yeah, so that's what happened there. It
Yeah,
was
yeah, and you know what else occurred to me?
mhm.
Um, do you remember the game show called the Newlywed Game?
Yes. Yes.
So there would be couples, right? And like the host would ask them questions, and each partner would kind of reveal the answer, what they think their partner would answer,
Yeah.
just to test how well their partner would know each other. So I think
Right.
if there were a friends version
Yeah.
and you and I were on the same team, we probably wouldn't do very
I
well.
don't know if we would, yeah, or it would be a lot of guessing, I think. It would be a lot
Yes.
of guessing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I thought, yeah, how well do we know our friends and family?
right,
Are there some people in your life that you feel that you do really know intimately? And also, do you even really want to know all the details of their lives? Like, first of all, it's not possible,
right.
but do you really want to know? Because I know in the past,
Mhm,
with romantic relationships, for example,
right,
I thought, oh, I want to know everything about him. I want to know
right,
everything
right,
about,
right.
do you know what I mean? But like,
Yeah,
yeah, I've changed my tune on that. It's like, is
yeah.
that really necessary?
No,
Yeah.
no,
So what do you think?
I agree. It's not
Do you,
necessary to know everything about
but
so
and are there
and you can't, right? I mean, you can't know everything. That's
exactly?
what makes things interesting, though. I mean, if you know everything,
Yeah.
right, it
Yeah.
would be kind of boring.
Yeah. Because yeah, that was a really nice surprise, a pleasant surprise when I learned that part about you, Lori. So yeah, it was a surprise.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
I just assumed that you had
right,
finished high school, and I was
right.
really surprised to learn that you actually were itching to, you know, get into the workplace or
Yeah. Oh,
the
yeah,
job market.
yeah. I wanted to earn money, but and I wanted to be around, people who were older. So,
Well, that worked. Yeah,
yeah, for
yeah.
sure.
Are there
So,
people in your life that you feel that you do know very well? Like,
yes, my
okay,
my friend Sue, I know her very well.
nice. Does she
Yeah,
know you very well?
yeah, mhm, yeah,
Okay,
she does.
okay,
Yeah,
all right.
because we have had lots of long conversations. We've traveled together, you know, yeah. So yeah, I would say for sure her. Probably other people too. Obviously, some family members. Not all family members, but the my closer ones for sure. I think I had some friends that I haven't kept in touch with, but that I would say I knew them fairly well. It's because I spent a lot of time with them or we had a lot of conversations, So that's what happens, right?
And
When you spend
yes,
a lot, yeah,
yes. And like experiencing different circumstances with each other, right?
right.
You mentioned traveling, for example.
Yeah.
So I think traveling is a big deal. Like you can find out a different side to your friends and family when you travel together.
Oh,
You
yes.
and I have not traveled together. So
No. I think we would
we
get
did.
along well, though. I think we'd get along well. I mean, we get along anyway, so it's like I think we would get along. I don't think it would be some big shock or whatever.
I think I've calmed down a little bit with age.
Calm down. Oh,
Or I'm just trying to be more diplomatic. So but maybe when I was younger, yeah, like I don't think that I was a good traveling companion.
oh, I probably wasn't either when I was younger. I probably wouldn't have been either. No.
Yeah.
But yeah, exactly. You when you get older, you learn to be a little more tolerant and of others, right? And and that's basically it, right? You're not
Hmm.
as in your 20s, I don't want to say everybody, but you tend to be more self-absorbed, right?
Hmm.
So I think that would be a factor. But no, I think we would have a great time on vacation. I'm sure we would. How about you? What do I not know about you? Is there something you one to share or
Oh, well, obviously, now you know that I didn't finish high school.
okay.
So, yeah,
And
like,
why didn't
I
you? What did you were you eager to work or you just didn't like
no,
school or
no.
no?
Yeah, I hated school. I
Oh,
hated school. And hate
oh,
is a strong word, man.
okay.
That is a strong word. But yeah, I was not going through a good time. I was, at a low point. High school was one of the lower points in my life.
Okay.
The studies didn't resonate with me. The teachers didn't resonate with me.
Mm-hmm.
And and I slept a lot. I didn't
Okay.
attend school a lot. Because
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
I was depressed.
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
just preferred to just sleep, right?
Right.
So I mean, since I was hardly there, I mean, there really was no reason to, be registered. So
Right.
yeah, I left.
Okay.
But there is a story about high school that you don't know about me.
Yeah.
I had a high school crush. I think a lot of people have high school
Yeah.
crushes.
Yeah.
And I had a high school crush where still, even now, decades later, sometimes he still crosses my mind.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so you have someone that
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
But he and I never exchanged words
Right.
in high school.
Yeah.
And yeah, and so I think he was a new student in grade
Oh,
12,
okay.
and we only had one class together,
Okay.
and we didn't, socialize in the same social circles. And I would say that he hung out with the more quote unquote cooler or popular
Yeah.
crowd,
Yeah.
and I was more just like under the radar
Yeah.
sort of person, right? And
Yeah.
so we didn't, you know and I remember um having a dream about him.
Mm-hmm.
One day he had a haircut in the
Yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
Okay, the
Uh-huh.
next day
Yeah.
I see him in the hallway. I'm just hanging out in front of the in the
Yeah.
hallway outside
Yeah.
of class. He comes and I see him.
Yeah.
He got a haircut.
No, you're kidding.
Yeah. So
Oh
I kind
my.
of freaked out a little bit on the
Yeah.
inside. Obviously, I didn't say anything because he and I never spoke.
Right.
But yeah, that was interesting. But
Wow.
another interesting thing about him is that I saw him again because we
Mm-hmm.
went to high school on the west end of the city. I saw
Okay.
him again, I don't know, more than a decade later
Yeah.
in a totally different part of the city where
Yeah.
I had moved and started to work.
Yeah.
He came into the store where I worked.
Wow.
What are the chances? A small
Well,
freaking
yeah.
world.
Did he recognize you?
He did, and that's
Did
the
he say
thing, like,
hi?
he didn't say anything, like, I
Yeah.
served him, right? Because I was
Oh,
cashing him out,
yeah.
but like, even though he and I were never friends, we didn't exchange words in high school,
Yeah.
so we were relative strangers,
Right.
but when I saw him in that store, I
Yeah.
noticed him, like, I saw the expression of recognition on his face. He
Okay.
recognized me too,
Yeah.
but we didn't say anything, and he was with
Oh.
someone else, he was with
Oh, like another
but
woman or
yes,
yeah.
yes, I don't know what the
Okay.
relationship, but
Sure.
another thing about in high school, like, I think I actually sent him a card with a note in it.
Oh, what did it say?
I actually said something like, because one of the things that I liked about him, or that
Mhm.
caught my attention about him, is not only because of his physical looks. Of
Mhm.
course, I thought he was attractive, but
Mhm.
I just thought that there was just some, like, a goodness about him.
Okay.
Like a goodness about him, right?
Yeah.
And I saw the friends that he hung out with,
Yeah.
right? And so I was like, I said something like, I just think that the friends that you're hanging out with, they're not, do you
Right
know
for
what I
you.
mean? Like,
They're
I
not
was
good
like,
for you.
kind of,
Yeah.
kind of like that. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, yeah, you don't seem to be like that. And,
Okay.
you know, I can't believe I wrote something like that. Anyway, so,
Wow.
and I sent him the note.
Where did you
And
send it to?
I think what I did was I snuck up because he lived near the school, so I saw him once in a
Yeah.
while walking, and
Yeah.
I knew where he lived.
Oh, you
This
put it in
sounds
his
this
mailbox.
sounds creepy. Yes, I actually put
Wow.
it in his mailbox, and
Wow.
to think that I did that.
Yeah.
makes me nervous because just the thought, like I could have gotten caught, like
Yeah.
just walk tiptoeing up
Yeah. Yeah.
this porch stairs and putting it like,
Yeah. Yeah.
my God.
Too funny.
Yes. So that's just a
Wow.
little
I
piece of
don't think, did
trivia.
I ever tell you I worked for an advertising agency?
You may have mentioned it.
Well, that was my
Go
next
on.
job. That was my next job after
Okay.
working for in that mat leave in that in for the president at that other insurance company. So I got a job with an advertising agency. I was like a receptionist slash admin. Just to give you an, have you ever watched Mad Men?
Yes.
Okay,
Some of it, yeah.
It was like Mad Men. It was like
Ooh.
Mad Men. And just to give you an example, I for my interview, I went in, I think I had my interview and then they introduced me to the president of the advertising agency. And I went in to speak with him. And guess what he asked me? He asked me, where do I hang out with my friends?
Uh-huh.
And I thought, I knew what he was getting at. He wanted to see if I was like fitting the image of the agency, right? But I
Hmm.
answered him anyway. Of course, nowadays that would be prohibited to even ask that, right? But I was like, well, we go to Rooney's on Saturday night, and then, we'll go to Bemelman's during the week for a drink, and then we also go to blah blah blah, right? And he's
So
like,
many details, Lori.
oh
Like
yeah,
you
no,
gave
no,
him
I told
specifics.
him, he asked me, and I knew exactly why he wanted to know, like, is she gonna fit in, right? Like, where does
Hmm.
she hang out? But isn't that odd? I mean, nowadays you'd be like, you can't ask that, right? Um,
And all still at that time, you're still a teenager,
I
right?
was like 19.
Yeah,
I was a
yeah. Mm-hmm.
baby, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that was weird. And as I said, it was crazy working there because first of all, we had one of our biggest clients was a beer company.
Okay,
So
okay. I think you did tell me.
yeah, so if you were still working like after 5 o'clock, you could go to the fridge and help yourself to free beer. Yeah, which I
Did
didn't
you?
because I was never a huge beer fan. I would drink one or two, but beer wasn't my drink.
Uh-huh.
But that's the climate. That's what the environment was like. And we would go out for drinks. There were parties, and the art director who I would go out and for drinks with him, just like he'd say, Lori, do you want to go for a drink? Whatever. And we'd go to Bellman's. And he told me, he says, oh, Catherine O'Hara of
Yes, yes.
Schitt's Creek,
Second
right?
City? Was it Second City?
Yeah, Schitt's Creek now. She
Yes, yes.
Anyway, her
Mm-hmm.
brother, Marcus, held these parties around Toronto. So the art director said, Lori, you should go check this party out. They're really fun. So I went with my girlfriend, was down on Queen Street, just around Spadina. And at the time, that was still it wasn't as developed as it was now. So it was kind of like a very bohemian type of
Mm.
area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we went to the party and it was super cool. It was in a loft above a store.
Uh-huh.
And there, I don't think Marcus lived there, but there were three guys that lived there. And there was actually a stage in there. It was a huge loft. So there was a stage. Anyway, so they had like three bands, live bands.
Oh. Uh-huh.
And there was a ton of people there. And I met this really nice Englishman, older man.
Uh-huh.
George was his name. And we actually became friends. We were friends for a couple of years, but that's where I met him. Anyway, it was a super cool party, but I think it was around 1 o'clock or something, the police busted it. Yeah, so the police busted the party because they didn't have a liquor license and they were selling liquor, right?
They were
So,
selling.
oh well,
Okay.
I mean, they were selling it to the party, to the guests, right?
Well, it's a party, so
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
expect when I'm going to a party,
Oh, no, no,
unless
no.
it's at an actual bar or
No,
something.
I think we had to pay tickets to get in, right? Like, it wasn't just a free
Interesting.
party. Yeah,
Okay,
so, yeah,
okay.
and
But
then but the booze was probably like, I don't know, dollar, $2 a beer, $2 for liquor, something like that, right?
mhm.
Yeah, so that was a fun party. It despite getting, having it wrapping up early. Well, it was 1 o'clock, 1:30. But that was, yeah, that was the advertising scene back then, so it was pretty wild.
Sounds
Um,
very exciting.
yeah,
An
and
exciting life
it
for
was
you.
kind of cool because, like, if they were creating a new commercial, often they would pull me into the boardroom and say, "Lori, what do you think about this?" And I remember there was
Oh.
one commercial, and it was for yogurt, and there were
Mhm.
two women, and they were each eating the yogurt, and they were giving each other looks, and they said, "Lori, do these women look like they're gay or lesbian, or like,
Are
do they
you
look?"
serious?
Yeah, and I said, "No, they're just enjoying their yogurt. You men see so much in everything. I mean, my God, they're just enjoying their yogurt and they're smiling at each other. What's the big deal?"
Mhm.
But they thought it was too seductive or something. But anyway, it was really fun to be, that aspect of it, like, to
Mhm.
be, and I kind of, years later, I thought, geez, I really would have liked to work as a copywriter or something.
You
In ad-
totally could have.
yeah,
Yeah,
I would
I
have, I
think.
would have enjoyed that. And too bad I didn't go that route, but whatever. I didn't stay. I think I lasted there about a year and a half, and then I
Mhm.
left. Do you
Mhm.
have friends that you know a lot about, or do you know very little about your friends? We'd love to hear in the comments section. Thanks for tuning in.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.